Hello, amazing people. My name is Elizabeth Giles, and today we are going to discuss this amazing My Meadow purple mess card. And I'll explain to you in just a tad bit why we called it that. This is part of a video series with the My Meadow stamp set here. This is in our mini catalog, the January through June 2020 catalog right now. You can see how nice shading and everything it is. And then I've paired it with the Here's a Card. This is located in the annual catalog, so the 2019 through 2020 annual catalog. So if you want to find those, you're more than welcome to. This is the card here that I'm going to be showing you how to make. It just uses one of the elements in that stamp set, and then obviously the words here. And this is why it's considered a messy purple card, obviously. So let's get started. First, we're going to take our cardstock base. And the measurements for this is going to be 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And this is the thick white, so you really want to make sure to score it well. And then you're going to use your bone folder and just burnish that edge so that it lays flat. All right, so we'll just set that aside for right now. The main focal point we are using is going to be Purple Posy. Now this is just a quarter of a sheet, so 5.5 by 4 1/4. Our other pieces that we have, just to go over them right away, we have Basic Gray. This is 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. We have another piece of Purple Posy, and this is just a scrap piece that our saying is going to go on. Then we have Gorgeous Grape, and this is 1 inches by 3 7/8. So that's the same width as our Basic Gray. And then we have a piece of white flax ribbon that will be tied around the card. All right, so let's get stamping. So out of the My Meadow stamp set, we're going to use this splotch, and this splotch. And the colors we're using are Gorgeous Grape, Basic Gray, and Highland Heather. So each one of these are going to have their own respective stamps. So let's start with Gorgeous Grape. Now you might, let's see, there we go. Now, when creating a pattern, it is best to start out with one color first, and then we're going to bring in the other colors. And like I said before, all of these, well, you'll just keep using the same color. Oops, dropped one there. And the Highland Heather, really, that one is just going to come in and kind of fill in. Now we're not going to do like fill it all in because we want the Purple Posy to shine through as well. But quite a bit of it will be covered once we're finished here. And you can kind of see how these mold together. It's pretty easy just to kind of get a good feeling and just kind of put them where you'd like. And it's okay if they overlap. I mean, it's a mess, right? So we don't want it to look too neat. And then we'll get that one this way. All right. Now I'll just show you how I filled in a little bit with the Highland Heather. So we just bring it in. And you can see it's more of like a tone-on-tone effect. You don't need, too much. All right. So next for our front piece, and you will fill this all the way in. I don't think you guys need me to show you that. We'll put a couple more splotches there. Now, one of the other pieces that I use on almost all of the cards in this series are our rectangle stitch dies. So when you receive them, and mine are all jumbled up here, we are going to use the largest die. So that's going to cut this out. And the other factor to this is also the Subtles embossing folder. So you will die cut this out and then run it through the Subtles embossing folder And this is what you get through the magic of TV, right? So you can see here how there's some texture on there and everything else. So here you can see how I just filled in using that Highland Heather. All right, so the next step to this card is to adhere it to our mat. Now, if you will notice, there was a gray circle on the front of here. So before you adhere this down, we're going to take our 2-inch circle punch and we are just going to pop that right out and set it aside. All right. Good, good, good. Now we're just going to take our Tombow multi-adhesive glue and run some glue along here. Now typically I do not put glue on my bigger piece. It always goes on the smaller piece. But I wanted to make sure not to get any glue in that hole. Otherwise my station would really be a mess. All right, so we're going to just line this up to where it has a slight border. Rub it down. All right, that's really good there. I just put my fingers in the ink. Okay, so next we're going to stamp our saying. And like I said, we just had a piece of scrap. The saying is from the Here's a Card. So we're going to use a It's All Messy, the hair, the house, the heart, life. And that is going to get stamped in our dark purples, so the gorgeous grape color. And we'll just bring that in. Bam. Perfect way to use up these scraps. Now, to get this, you will end up just cutting it out with your snips. And I like to use the paper so my one hand stays right where it needs to be, and the other hand just kind of turns the paper. See? All right, I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And right here. So you have this lovely piece right there. We're going to go ahead and pop this up so we don't lose it here with some dimensionals. And you can use the little ones or the big ones. I'm just going to use 2 big ones. And just place those right there. And it's just going to go right in our circle. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and finish assembling the front of this card. So we have a little piece of the white flax ribbon. That's just going to go right around, kind of towards the bottom here. And let's see here. There. Just want a little bit of tape. Okay. And then we'll bring in, oh, I almost forgot. We have the strip of gorgeous grape, right? So this is a 1-inch strip. You're just going to take it and kind of tear it 1/3 of the way down. I just thought this added to the little bit of mess that we had, right? Now let's add our glue to the back of that. I really like to use the multi-adhesive glue for this type of thing because we're going to slide it underneath this ribbon. Now I know what you're saying. You could have put that on before you put the ribbon on. But I find that it just, I don't know, I can adjust it the way I want it a little bit easier there. Just tuck it under. And then we're going to add a bunch of glue to our circle. Okay. And hold just for a moment. Now, before we glue this onto our card front, we're going to go ahead and stamp the inside. I'll set you aside. All right. So the inside, we're going to use the I'm here if you need me. And we're stamping that in the gorgeous grape as well. We're just going to put that right in the middle. Now to kind of bring our outside elements in, we'll go ahead and ink up those splotches We'll just bring in a little bit of color and our gray. Let me turn that so it kind of nestles in there. And Highland Heather. All right, so that's the inside. Let's fold that down. And we'll glue this to the front of our card, making sure to get over that ribbon. All right, and you should have a nice border. All right, now last but not least, you're going to add some of these in color faceted dots. And I added one of each size here. Let's go ahead and put those on. And voila. Quick, easy, simple card, something out of the ordinary with that stamp set. So you can kind of see. Now this is only one of the cards in this series, so if you haven't seen the other videos yet, make sure to take a look. So once again, it's the My Meadow Purple Mess card. And there's all the dimensions and the supplies needed. All right. Well, you guys, remember, my name is Elizabeth Giles with Stampin' Unicorns, and make every creation unique. Thank you.